Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Dan Blanchard with the Travel in Time Show. Today I am in Waterford, Connecticut at the old Seaside Sanatorium, the tuberculosis center that has been closed down and abandoned for a lot of years. It overlooks the beautiful Long Island Sound, as you can see here. And there's multiple buildings here, as you can see. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. So let me just tell you something. About 100 years ago, the #1 killer in Connecticut was tuberculosis. It was killing kids left and right. Okay, 1 out of every 20 deaths was because of tuberculosis. And this is, about the 1930s, during the Great Depression, all that stuff. And I think back about the leadership of Eleanor Roosevelt when she said, above all, do something. And that's what Connecticut did. Connecticut went and purchased land on this estate, went and contacted the architect that designed the Supreme Court and said, hey, we want you to build us something that doesn't look like a hospital, doesn't look like an institution. Can you do that? He was like, yeah, let's do it. All right, and then Connecticut said, you know what? What we got to do is we got to do this thing that's called heliotherapy, where studies have shown that people that were getting sunshine, fresh air, just being outdoors was doing better with tuberculosis. And what better place than to have fresh air than coming off the ocean like the Long Island Sound? Plenty of fresh air and sunshine here. All right, so in 1934, they built this hospital. I know you can't see it now, but the bottom floor there was all open. They're the hospital beds of the tuberculosis residents, patients, mostly kids, actually outside. That got closed up later. I'll explain that in a moment. But eventually what's going to happen, about 20 years to go by, and there's going to be better hospital care, better medicine, better antibiotics, and the tuberculosis really isn't that much of a concern anymore. This center's going to close down. But it's not going to stay down for long, the sanatorium. They're going to open it up as a geriatrics place where they're going to close up the bottom floor. So that's where the bottom floors are closed up. You don't see hospital beds outside anymore there. And then within a few years, it's going to go to a mental health institution. The terminology back then was mental retardation. I know we don't see that anymore, but that's what it was back then. Lots of budget cuts, shortage of staff, lots of patients, and eventually the mental health hospital is going to be closed down as well, with a whole bunch of lawsuits following for neglect, abuse, even some deaths that took place. I'm sure they were incidental, accidental, but it happened, okay? Now today, it's a park, 2016. It got turned into a park. You can come here. The grounds are beautiful. The beach is beautiful. Today's a beautiful day. There's actually people at the beach here in early June and swimming in the water. It's just beautiful. I'm hoping someday somebody does purchase this, maybe turn part of this into a museum, maybe put up a fancy hotel, or maybe even just, part of this, turn this into some place where people can stay. They say it would cost tens of millions of dollars. No wonder why nobody's done it yet. I don't know if this is a brown site or not, which means is the soil contaminated? If it is, that's going to cost a lot of money. So I hope someday somebody with a lot of money and a lot of imagination comes here and does something really special with this, but preserves some of the history of this, some sort of museum or something like that, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, what's the leadership here? Obviously, it's Eleanor Roosevelt's leadership. I think she was talking more about maybe the Great Depression when she said, above all, do something. But here in Connecticut, above all, do something about the tuberculosis. That's the #1 killer of our kids. And we did do something, okay? The other one is the visionary leadership, okay? The visionary leadership, heliotherapy, today we look at that and go, I'm not sure about that. But back then, that was revolutionary. This was like the first hospital of this kind in the country. All right, this was amazing. And I'm sure a lot of parents were like, thank God somebody's doing something. Somebody has the vision to help our kids. So visionary leadership is definitely important. I think definitely fits to this, maybe thinking outside the box, or just freaking running with it, right? Doing something, all right? So listen, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all those things that you do. Next week, I'm going to be back, with the travel end time show over at the Connecticut Submarine Museum. That's going to be a great episode. So until then, take care of yourself. And I will be talking to you real soon, where once again we will mix travel, history, and leadership lessons with me, Dan Blanchard. Take care.